James, during your time in WWE, you worked alongside AJ Styles, Carmella, Dean Ambrose, aka John Moxley, and Asuka. Rank those wrestlers from least to most likable. What up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Guys, I am super excited for today's video. It is the full-length podcast episode that I did by the title of the video you guys already know, with James Ellsworth. Guys, I am super excited for you guys to check this out. This is something that I never thought I would ever do, guys. I mean, it's crazy. I got to interview James Ellsworth, guys. Like, if you guys want to listen to this podcast instead of watching this video, it is available on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify. Check the links in the description to check it out. If this is your first time on my channel, be sure to subscribe. I post a lot more content, not just podcasts. My name is Rodrigo, aka Roddy Blaze, and I hope you stick around. So guys, once again, I am super excited. I was super grateful to be able to interview James. We talk about his time in WWE, him working with AJ Styles and competing for the world title. He talks about how grateful he was during his time in WWE and all the great moments that he was a part of. And I even told him too, I was like, it's crazy how many moments you've been a part of. Like, and guys, honestly, he was so chill to talk to. It was so easy to talk to him. At many points, it didn't even feel like an interview. It just felt like we were just talking about wrestling. So a big thank you to James for making this happen. So once again, guys, be sure to check out my podcast, The Rodcast Podcast Show, available on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Once again, check the description to check it out. So guys, here we go. Here is the interview with James Ellsworth. Enjoy. Woo! James, what's going on, man? Thank you so much for joining me today, man.
What's up, man? Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yes, dude, I appreciate you, man. Dude, thank you so much. Dude, like, honestly, like, I don't want to blow smoke up your ass, man, but dude, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate this, man. If this is the only time in my life I ever get to speak to you, man, dude, I am freaking grateful as hell right now, man. So thank you so much, man.
Well, I appreciate all that. You got a cool little microphone there. Looks very professional, so I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, man. I try to look as pro as I can.
Yeah.
All right, man.
That's good.
Yeah. So, well, where exactly are you right now? Where you at right now?
I'm home here in Baltimore, where I live in Maryland.
Oh, okay, for sure. How's your world going right now?
You know, it's like, honestly, it hasn't been half bad. I haven't spent a lot of time, this much time anyway, with my family the last several years as all this craziness has been happening to me. I've really time with my family. I've been selling merchandise and 8x10s, and I've been doing bad, man. Like, I'm very blessed, and I'm enjoying the time with my family and my fiance and everybody. It's been great.
Man, so are you wrestling right now or no?
I went to Tennessee and wrestled Friday and Saturday, so I guess yes. I mean, they're slowly coming back, the bookings through all this, and I'm kind of a free soul. Like, I know the virus is real and it's dangerous and everything, but I do the mask everywhere I go, and I practice social distancing, and I try to stay as safe as possible. At the same time, I still live my life and go do things and try to wrestle as much as possible.
Right. All right, man. So I wanted to. For my audience, I'd be doing them a disservice if I didn't get your story from the very, very beginning, man. So of course they know you from WWE, so they wanted to ask. They asked me plain and simple. They're like, ask him how exactly he got in WWE. So, man, if you don't mind sharing that story with us.
I started a long time ago. No. Yeah, and I've been wrestling since 2002. I was trained under Axel Rotten, who was an ECW original, back in 2002 when I was 17 years old. I started. And so I've been wrestling indie from 2002 to 2016, 14 years, just wrestling indies, learning my craft as best as I could, listening to the right people that have traveled the world and done wrestling for a living. I always pick those people's brains when I saw them in locker rooms. So anyway, 2016, fast forward. When WWE comes around your area, like I live in Baltimore, if they would come to New York, Pennsylvania, or Virginia, or Maryland, or anywhere around here, 250 miles or less, I would contact them for extra work. Like, anybody can pretty much be an extra, an enhancement talent. Like, you show up and they use you for whatever's needed. You can get used to do a match. You can get used to security. You can get used as a fake doctor, a fake waiter, whatever an extra needs, and it's really like like you have to be an unknown to do it, because if you're on TV wrestling Braun Strowman, they want the people paying attention to their superstar and not you.
Right.
So like it's actually kind of slap in the face that they will put you on TV. It's cool for the guy doing it, but really it's like, oh, you're nobody. That's fun. So anyway, in Pittsburgh in July of 2016, I was up there, and Arn Anderson was the agent for what was going to be Braun Strowman like his push, I call it. He was with the Wyatt family for a little bit, so this was like his reintroduction where he was going to be by himself. And remember, Arn Anderson came over to all of us and was like, all right, whoever throws the best punch is getting the match. He's like, you're the smallest guy, so you go first. And I threw a punch. He goes, I'm sorry, guys. I don't need to see anybody else's. He's getting spotted. That was beautiful. I was like, whoa. I was like, I'm going to be on Raw? Like, what? Like, that quick. Like, so for me, I'm like, wow, this is cool. Like, you know I'm not a big shot because I'm having an enhancement talent match. Like, and you get squashed out. I said, but it's cool for me personally. Been watching wrestling my whole life to get, an opportunity to be Raw, even if it's just a one-time thing. So I remember I was talking to Braun in the ring, and one of the writers came over, hey, we're doing this thing with Braun every week where, starting tonight, where, like, the extras, the people that are going to wrestle him, the local talent, are to be able to read their last rites, say their last words, basically, like, before they get killed by Braun Strowman, like, or, so you get to do a promo saying your last words, and then we never see you again. And I said, oh, that's cool. And so they gave me a little promo, and Jimmy Jacobs was a writer at the time. And I remember saying to him, because I knew I was punching Braun twice in a match, I remember saying to him, hey, man, like, can I say any man with two hands has a fighting chance? Because I'm punching him twice. So I'm using my two hands. I just think it's a good line. He goes, where'd you get that line from? I said, I just thought of it right now as I'm talking to you. Where'd you get that line from? I'm like, he's like, is that a movie or is that? I said, no, I literally just, so he's like, man, he's like, you can say the line, that's cool, it's a good line. He's like, find out a movie that's from a movie. Like, I just thought of it. He goes, well, he's like, if you thought of that, it's very creative and good on you. I'm like, I did. So anyway, I do the promo. I'm like acted really scared, but I'm going to give it my best shot against, this guy, even though I know he's bigger than me. And I know, but I can imagine what this can do for my career if I beat him. And I said, any man with two hands has a fighting chance. And they said, like, people that were in the gorilla position was Vince McMahon at the time were all like, he was taken back by the line. He's like, oh, that was a good line. Hell, let's see how this kid sells. Bell rings. I start selling all over the ring for Strowman. I mean, I really, I'm very proud of that match. Yeah, it's a 1:29 squash match, but like just the way I performed under that pressure that I've never been under before, like on Monday Night Raw in front of millions of people, in front of 10,000 people in the arena, and I really performed well, like selling good for them, facial expressions, like a lot that goes on with wrestling that people that might not understand. Facial expressions has a lot to do with it, and so anyway, I get to the back, and Arn Anderson's like, man, hell of a job, kid. You made my job easy tonight. And he goes, Vince McMahon wants to see you. I was like, and I thought Vince McMahon wanted to see me because when you're an enhancement talent, I don't know if they still do it, you're not allowed to walk out down the ramp for that. You got to, like, come around the crowd to where the bellkeeper is. And I didn't do that. I walked down the ramp. So I thought they called me into his office to yell, or in the grill position to yell at me. And I get to grill, and him and Triple H standing there waiting for me. Tim and Triple H, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, these guys are gonna chew me out. I mean, I'm never allowed back. And I walk up the stairs to them, and they both shook my hand. This man said, "You did a hell of a job out there." He said, "You cut an amazing promo. I'm going to hire you." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "What?" I was like, and I was like, "Oh, thanks." And I just laughed it off. I said, "Thanks." And Triple H goes, "No, he's serious. He's going to hire you." He said, and Vince McMahon said, "We'll be in touch." What the hell's how's he going to get in touch with me? He doesn't have my phone number. What? So anyway, like 2 days went by. Well, the next day I was at SmackDown, and because the extra talents for the week went to both shows. And like the cameramen there were like, "Hey man, you're gonna be a star," and this. And I thought everybody was just ripping me, joking with me. What are they, like, And so every week after that, for 6 weeks, I heard from WWE once a week, hey, we might do this with you. We might do that with you. You might be going against Heath Slater at SummerSlam with the contract on the line. Like all this stuff. And like, yeah. And like, it never enough. And for 6 weeks, nothing ever happened. So I kind of like, after like a month and a half, I almost gave up hope. But yeah, like I never gave up. I'm like, man, should I contact them? This and that. So I back to Jimmy Jacobs. I ran into him at an indie show. And he was on the writing team at the time. And I said, hey, man, Vince said he was going to hire me. I haven't heard from him in 6 weeks. And he looked at me and he goes, I have a feeling you're going to be hearing from him soon. And I didn't know what that meant. And I'm like, what are you talking? Like, what? He's like, he hasn't forgot about you. Believe me, he hasn't forgot about you. Man, that was on a Saturday. 2 days later, like, they were like, hey, they contacted me on a Monday. And we're like, hey, we need SmackDown next Tuesday. And I was like, okay. And they're like, we'll see you then. And in Philadelphia, the SmackDown's only an hour and a half from where I live in Baltimore. So I drove up to Philadelphia, did SmackDown. Like, the angle was supposed to be AJ's looking for a partner, and he couldn't find one because nobody liked him, and he was facing John Cena and Dean Ambrose. And then they wanted to test and see what kind of reaction I would get if I was the partner. So they pulled me into the screen and introduced me as the partner, and like I got a very big reaction there in Philly, which Philly is some of the best, amazing wrestling fans in the world. And, and they did the whole thing on the stage where The Miz beat me up, and I didn't get to be in the match. The Miz wound up being his partner. But I came out, had an entrance, and Miz beat me up on stage. So they said, hey, you'll be back in a month, and you're going to face The Miz in a month. And on TV, you're going to come back and try to fight The Miz for the Intercontinental title. Like, oh, cool. So a month goes by, I come back, I think I'm facing The Miz. And they come up to me and they're like, we've switched it to you facing AJ. And I was like, what, AJ, the world champion? And they're like, yeah, you're going to pin him. And like walked away from me. It was Adam Pearce, who's outstanding agent there. I was like, yeah, he's just joking with me. Then I sat down, I'm eating and catering by myself. And like AJ walks in and sits next to me, goes, it's me and you tonight, kid. I'm going to try to get you some offense, but I don't think they want me to, but I'm going to, I'm see what I can do. I'm like, what? He's like that, WWE champion. And then when they told me the angle where Dean Ambrose, now John Moxley, is going to be the referee, I'm like, oh, okay, I get what they're doing here. I was like, they're not kidding. I'm going to pin the world champion. I've been watching wrestling my whole life. I know what's going to happen here. Dean Ambrose is going to hit him with his finish, and I'm going to pin him. Like, I know what. So that's what happened. And Vince McMahon kept his word. He brought me back, and the rest, as they say, is history. So
yeah. You mentioned earlier how you said when you came out to be AJ's partner, and then The Miz came out, and that bump you took when he did the Skull Country finale on the stage. Like every time I watched it, I'm just like, oh, like how did you take that bump? Because it sounded like you went face first on the stage.
Oh no, I turned my head. And,
I was like, man.
Yeah, I protected myself.
Right. Every time I watch that. Oh, and then I was recently watching the match where so the second time you faced AJ was when it was for the world title.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you got that pop when you hit what David Otunga said, no chin music? What were you going through when you hit it and you got that huge pop?
So before I get to like that part, like for me, wrestling for the WWE Championship was like everything. Like that was the dream come true. And dude, like it still gives me chills like to this day when I think about, I'm in the ring, AJ's across from me wearing the title, and he takes the title off and hands it to the referee, and the referee's raising the title. And I'm watching him raise the title, and the whole crowd's chanting my name. I'm in the main event of a WWE show against the best wrestler in the world for the world title. Like everybody's chanting my name. I'm like, and I thought right at that second, I said, it's never going to get any better than this, because how could it, other than actually winning the title, how could it get any better than wrestling the best wrestler in the world for the world title in the main event of SmackDown while everybody's chanting my name? Like, it was just so surreal. So anyway, when I hit the no chin music, man, so wrestling's about moments. And, it doesn't matter how long or how short you've been in WWE if you create those moments. And that was a moment, like, still people come up to me and talk about, man, you almost had AJ, you were like a half a second away from beating him. When I hit that kick, it just felt like like a thunderstorm outside. The people like erupted so loud, and I've never felt anything like that before. And like it, and when they started counting with 3, and he kicked out, and you heard him erupt again, like oh man, and like they were like, wait a minute, they're like, wait a minute, there's no way he was gonna beat him, right? Like they try to talk themselves out of they just believed I was about to beat him, you know, and but it was never gonna get better than that, man. It can't. Like that was like just such an amazing moment in my career, my life, and everything. It's, you know, at least once a year I go back and watch it, and you know, and not like every week or anything. Like once a year, around the time that it happened, I go back and relive it, and it's just such a cool thing, man.
How did you feel about something I find so funny about that video? The video itself was JBL's commentary when you were pitting him.
Yeah, scream! No, that was almost
like,
a
he's like,
disaster.
yeah, like dear God, no! Like I was like, oh my God! Like when I think that added even more to the moment. You're like, oh my God! Like is it actually gonna happen?
Yeah, he did a great job of making people feel bad for me. He would say the most just degrading, terrible things about me. And I remember one day before the show, he's like, James, I'm running out of things to say about you. I said, just say I'm a guard. Just say I look like a guard gnome that got ran over by a lawnmower. And he's like, man, you really just don't give a do you? I said, no, man. I know what this is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that was the thing, man. Like, I think a lot of people there like thought I was just like this dumb independent wrestler that didn't know much. But like I wrestled for 14 years, and if I was in a locker room with like a Billy Gunn or a Ric Flair or a Tatanka even, or like anybody with any kind of name that traveled the world doing this, I would pick their brain. I did it for 14 years, got on those guys' nerves, and so when I got there, like I think they were like, oh, this is a funny little indie guy. Like, whoa, wait a minute, he knows a little bit. It's really mind-boggling to see how they reacted to that.
Right. So you said you've been wrestling for 14 years, or more than 14 years. Has your wrestling name always been your real name?
No. So I've been wrestling for 18 years now.
18.
When I was on the indies, I wrestled under I was Pretty Jimmy, and my tag partner was Adam Ugly, and our tag team name was Pretty Ugly. Pretty Jimmy, Adam Ugly, Pretty Ugly.
What?
And so I did that forever. Like, not at first, I was just Jimmy Dream at first, and this was my dream to become a wrestler, so that's why I used that name. But then it turned into him and I teaming, and our most notable match we wrestled the Briscoes. They're in Ring of Honor, like the best tag team in Ring of Honor history, so we wrestled them before. And the Rock and Roll Express, we wrestled them before on the indies. So we had fun, man. It was like my indie career was like, I wasn't a big name on the indies. I wasn't an indie darling. I really did work hard, and I really did learn the craft. But like the PWGs and the whatever, the CZW, like I did see the CZW a little bit, but like the real name valued indies, I never became a star in any of those or did a lot of those. I didn't care about it, like doing any of that. I wanted to be in WWE, and I just always studied the WWE style and how they did things, and I think I really learned how to do those things before I got there, because that's what I was focused on. I wasn't focused on, oh man, I got to get on this indie show because I might get noticed. I was like, man, I got to learn. Like, if I ever have a shot in hell of doing any of this, like, I got to learn how to do it correctly. And that's what I always focused on.
Oh, okay. Is there anything in your current life, like right now, that that because of WWE, it's part of your life right now? For example, like a friendship or anything like that. Anything that's like part of your life right now because of WWE.
Well, yeah, I always tell people, like, WWE is just like any other job where you make friends and they become friends for life. And, I have a couple of people there, that like Carmella, for instance. I talk to her anytime I text her. She texts me back. Like, it was my daughter's birthday a month ago, and I said, hey, can you send a video for my daughter wishing her happy birthday? She sent it right away. Oh, okay. So, I mean, like, just stuff like that, man, that you cherish for life. And I mean, WWE changed my life. Like, I traveled the world on their dime, got to see every place I ever wanted to see. Like, I saved my money, so I'm like financially stable because of WWE. Like, it really helped me a lot, and I really learned a lot there. And I had a fantastic time. And yeah, man, it changed my life in many ways. And it'll always be a time that I cherish for sure.
Oh, okay. you mentioned Carmella. Anybody else you currently still keep in touch with?
Yeah, I'll talk to like Shinsuke Nakamura every now and then. Like Mojo Riley, he's a fun man. Like Mojo Riley, if they would just let him be himself in the WWE, he'd be successful. Like I don't know what the hell they're trying to do with him, but like he's so funny and so like charismatic outside the ring, and just such a good dude to be around. So him, I'll talk to him a lot. Kurt Hawkins and I, we talk, like, just to name a few. Like, I mean, but like, yeah, those are the main ones. One of the referees, Dan Engler, he's a referee there. He just a great guy, and I talk to him all the time. And yeah, like I said, it's like any other job where you make friends and they become your friends, forever.
Right. True. What did you do before wrestling? Did you work a regular job like most like me? Like
Oh yeah.
Before.
Yeah, when I was wrestling indies, I did a lot of jobs, man. Like, but I worked with people with special needs for 8 years before WWE. That was my last job before WWE. But man, I delivered newspapers. I worked at Burlington Coat Factory. I cut grass at a golf course. Like whatever was Monday through Friday, so I could wrestle on the weekends.
Right. Oh,
like,
okay.
I did. But working with the kids with special needs was the job I did for 8 years before WWE. And one of the guys that was there, he's in a wheelchair. His name's David. Was born, handicapped and was in a wheelchair his whole life. Huge wrestling fan. Like his mind's all there. So he just knew everything about wrestling. So when I made it, man, I made it a point when WWE came to DC, which is 45 minutes from my house for SmackDown. I took him backstage and made sure he met everybody. And that was like one of the cool things for me. If you go on my Twitter at Real Ellsworth, you'll see that's the pinned tweet of me taking him backstage and for him superstars. And it was just, that was really cool for me because that was me not forgetting about anybody there. And he was the biggest wrestling fan I knew. And that was really like the coolest thing I've ever done for anybody, in my humble opinion anyway.
When I look at your career, it's crazy how like you've lived like many people's dreams, especially mine. I mean, just to name a few things. You were an entry in the Royal Rumble. Like we mentioned earlier, you got to face AJ Styles for the world title on SmackDown in the main event. Leading up to Survivor Series, you were in the same ring as Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, The Undertaker, Edge. Just to name a few. Like, it's crazy like how many moments you've been a part of. And like, man, it's crazy. Like, you've lived like so many people's dreams. That's crazy. And something I really respect about you is I like how you speak, how you're so grateful for those moments, man. So it's really, really cool.
Yeah, man, like I feel like the internet, people don't know people. People just say just the most random, disgusting things about people. They don't know people. Like I'm very humble, grateful, like laid back guy. Yeah, man, I got to walk the ramp at WrestleMania and do a spot with Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. I got to win a match at Madison Square Garden against Kurt Hawkins, like on a house show. Like it's on YouTube, me versus Kurt Hawkins in Madison Square Garden. I won a match there. Like that's still mind-boggling to me that I won a match at Madison Square Garden. Like, and just, I mean, because of WWE, I've been to Hawaii, I've been to Japan, I've been to China, which I don't want to go back to China anytime soon. No offense to anybody there. It just seems a little scary. But, like, I've been to all these, like, cool places in Europe, all over Europe. I always wanted to go to the UK and Europe and Spain and Italy and every place over there, and I did it. Like, and it's because of WWE. And like I said, I was there. If you look back at it from July 2016 to July 2018, I was on TV more often than not. And it was just amazing, man. Like I hope to go back and do it again one day. I mean, the current climate right now, what they're doing is really not my dream. They're not traveling the world. They're not going city to city. Like it's scary, and I feel for them, and I hope they, get through it without any like body being seriously hurt or anything. But because this thing is real, this virus, it's scary. Like I said, I go out and I do things. I do wrestle. I wear a mask. I try to social distance, and luckily, knock on wood, I've been good. The wrestling bookings have been few and far between because of this, but anybody that I see running the show, I contact. Some promoters like, you're contacting me? I'm like, yeah, I would have wrestled, I would have worked, I would not work. So it's amazing, man, how the world can change that quickly.
Yeah, all right. All right, man. Before I let you go, man, I want to play like 2 little quick games, man. You up for it?
Sure.
All right, man. So first one. So basically, I'm gonna rapid fire some questions at you. I'm gonna put a minute on the clock, and you just answer them as honestly and as fast as you can. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. All right, James, you are in what I call the hot rod seat. Here we go. Minute on the clock and go. If you could close one fast food place because of nasty food, what would you pick?
Wendy's.
Wendy's? Favorite finisher?
No chin music.
What are you terrible at?
Probably going, waking up in the morning.
Cats or
time.
Cats or dogs?
Cats.
Okay.
I have 5.
You have what? I didn't know that.
3 of them are my fiance's that she brought here when she was there.
What is one food that you will never give up?
Pizza, definitely.
That's right. Childhood celebrity crush.
Ooh, Tiffany Amber Thiessen, Kelly from Saved by the Bell.
Oh,
Valerie on 90210.
Secret hidden talent.
I can actually wrestle really good.
Favorite song?
Favorite song, man. Offspring, Gotta Get Away From Me.
All right. Our minute's up. But oh man. Oh my god, that was a good one. No, I could actually wrestle. That's right.
Believe it or not.
Yeah. All right.
I didn't really get to showcase that at WWE too much, which my character didn't call for. My character was a moron that couldn't wrestle,
Yeah, right. All right, so next one is actually, this game is actually optional, right? So I'm gonna tell you what it is, and you basically you tell me if you want to do it or not. But all right, so basically, I'm gonna ask you one question, right? And if you answer it, then cool. The listeners will get a good laugh at it, I hope. And if you decide not to answer it, you have to follow me on either Instagram or Twitter. You can mute me. You can mute me if you want, but just so I can say, oh yeah, James Ellsworth follows me on Instagram or Twitter.
Okay, give it a shot.
Oh, you want to go for it?
Sure.
All right. The question is in this envelope. Here we go. I have no name for this game, by the way. All right, here we go. James, during your time in WWE, you worked alongside AJ Styles, Carmella, Dean Ambrose, a.k.a. Jon Moxley, and Asuka. Rank those wrestlers from least to most likable.
Well, like most likable in person?
Yeah.
Oh, that's hard because they're all name them again.
All right. AJ Styles, Carmella, Dean Ambrose, a.k.a. Jon Moxley, and Asuka.
All right, they're all very likable. Let me just put that out there. But number one's Carmella. I just love Carmella. She's a great person. 2 is AJ Styles, just because, like, I don't know, he really took care of me. 3's, man, I mean, they're all cool people, like I said. So 3 would be Moxley, just because I could talk to him more than Asuka. Like, I didn't work with Asuka enough. She was very sweet, and I loved working with her. But if I had to rank them, that would be my rankings. And Asuka's outstanding. They're all outstanding people.
Yeah. I think you're gonna answer. Oh my god, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, we're not bashing anybody. Like you said, they're obviously they're all great. No, obviously they're all cool people, you know.
If there was one that wasn't, I would tell you. I don't care. Those 4 in particular were very fun to work with.
Yeah. Oh my god, that was fun. That was fun. Thank you for playing.
Yeah, right. No problem.
All right, James, before I let you go, man, you want to share your social media real quick? Where can my listeners find you?
Yeah, find me on Instagram at James Ellsworth Wrestling. I love Instagram. Not a lot of drama on there. If you want to go on Twitter, follow me, which I'm on there for maybe 10 minutes a day because Twitter is the devil. Like it's such. I don't know what's wrong with people. I don't know. People don't look their facts up or do any research or under. It's at Real Ellsworth. I look at it maybe once a day. And then follow me on Facebook. Find me under James Ellsworth. Picture of my lovely fiance and I is the profile pic. I have like almost 5,000 friends, but every day it changes. So you want to check me out on there.
All right. Are wedding plans on hold for right now?
Well, no, I see. We were planning on getting married June of next year, so a year from this month. So I think we're gonna be okay, and if not, we'll figure it out. Because I think there's gonna be a vaccine just out of nowhere. Just my humble opinion, right around November. Right around November, I think there's gonna be a vaccine. I don't know where it's gonna come from. Just my humble guess.
Right. So. Oh my God, people are gonna get a kick out of that part.
Yeah. I have a feeling, guys. I have a feeling. So.
Oh my God. All right, James. So, James, once again, thank you so much for joining me today, man. I really appreciate your time, man. Thank you so much for making this happen.
Appreciate you guys. Take care. God bless. Stay safe. And remember, any man with two hands has a fighting chance.
Oh, perfect way to end it. All right, James. Thanks again, man.
Take care, guys.
All right, man. Take care. And there you have it. Woo! How's that for an interview, huh? Come on, let's go. Guys, hope you guys enjoyed that interview with James. What I tell you, it was so chill and laid back, and I honestly I didn't think he was gonna answer that question. I was like, oh my God, he's gonna answer it. If you guys made it to the end, be sure to let me know by giving this video a big thumbs up. Comment down below what you guys think. Once again, be sure to check out my podcast on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you guys next time.